Starting a YouTube channel completely changed my life in just 4 months. And I know that sounds absolutely insane, but in this video, I'm gonna share the story of exactly how that happened. So back in April of this year, I decided to start something that I'd been thinking about for a very long time. I decided to start a YouTube channel. And if you know a little bit about my story, you know that I've created content in the past, but I've never sat down like this and spoke about my own life and my own story. Like, that was just a completely different level. And I actually really struggled to just get started and post my first video. And if I'm being completely honest, the biggest thing that was holding me back was the fear of failure. And maybe you can relate to that feeling. And I remember I was overthinking so much. I was thinking, what if I put all of this time into these videos? What if I pour my heart and soul into this channel and then just nobody even watches? But at the end of the day, I just thought, you know what? I know I have something to share and I know that it's worth the risk. So eventually, after filming my first video about 4 different times until I was happy with it, I finally posted my first video to this channel. And of course, the views were very low at first. In fact, they were practically non-existent, but I kept showing up. And with every video that I posted, I found myself genuinely falling in love with telling stories and sharing ideas, even though nobody was watching. And even though I was so scared of posting videos and not getting any views, it didn't actually feel too bad because I was genuinely enjoying myself. And instead of just mindlessly consuming YouTube videos, I was finally creating something for myself. And after a little while, I started to notice some early signs of life, you know, a couple of views over here, a few subscribers over there. And within 4 months of posting my first video, I had hit 10,000 subscribers, which is just absolutely mental. And like I said, this channel has completely changed my life in those 4 months. And there's actually a few quite surprising reasons for that. So the first way that this channel has changed my life is actually my self-confidence. And I don't mean that in a superficial way. I don't mean that, oh, now I get more views, so now I can feel good about myself. I'm talking more about that inner confidence that comes from actually keeping a promise to yourself. It's that confidence that comes from saying, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna stick to something, and then actually following through with it and actually keeping that promise, even if you are overthinking everything. Because I think most of us go through life breaking tiny promises to ourselves. We tell ourselves we're gonna spend less time on our phone, and then we don't. We say we're gonna exercise more, and then we don't. And when you actually break through that pattern and actually keep a promise to yourself, it does give you a sense of confidence that is very hard to fake. Now, the second reason why this YouTube channel has had a big impact on my life is actually financially. Now, obviously, this is still a brand new YouTube channel, you know, so I'm not making that much money just yet. But of course, we did get the channel monetized. And within that first full month of being monetized, I think I made just under $700, which obviously, like I said, that's not life-changing money, but it is still really nice to have, you know, a bit of extra income coming in every month. But on top of that, I do also have a community called 0 to Creator. And this is something that I'm currently building out, so it's not finished just yet. But I did set up a pre-order page so people can go and pre-order the program. And that pre-order page is making me a lot more money than I'm getting from, you know, YouTube AdSense. And if I'm being completely honest, I thought that at this point I'd be making nothing from this channel. So to be making any money, I'm just, yeah, so grateful. And I'm actually filming this right now from Hanoi in Vietnam. And the only reason I get to travel around and live this kind of life is because of content creation. And the final reason why this YouTube channel has completely changed my life is actually the people that have been reaching out. Now, of course, getting a lot of views does feel great. Watching your subscribers go up does feel amazing. You know, you do get a massive spike of dopamine when that happens. But the thing that really means the world to me is when somebody reaches out or when someone leaves a comment saying that my videos genuinely helped them or genuinely got them results with their own YouTube channel. Like, that means so much more than just, you know, hitting a certain amount of subscribers. Because at the end of the day, if you're starting a YouTube channel, the numbers don't really matter. The thing that really matters is helping the people, the real human beings who are watching your videos. So if you are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, or maybe you have started already, but you're not seeing results just yet, I want to give you 3 quick fire pieces of advice that I wish I knew when I was first getting started. So the first piece of advice would be to stop underestimating yourself. So if you're anything like me, you probably spend a lot of time on YouTube, and you probably watch other creators with thousands or even millions of subscribers and think, man, their videos are so good, I could never compete with that. But in my experience on YouTube, things can happen a lot quicker than you think. For example, at this point, you know, 4 months into my journey, I thought I would have maybe 100 subscribers once, if that. And I think in life, we often really underestimate ourselves. And I think sometimes we set very low expectations to protect ourselves from being disappointed. But at the end of the day, as cliche as it sounds, you are probably a lot more capable than you're giving yourself credit for. Now, the second piece of advice that I would give myself is to tell your story. Because I think one of the biggest mistakes that new creators make when they're starting a YouTube channel is to try to sound like everybody else. But the thing is that the internet is already drowning in copy and paste creators who are just repeating all the same ideas. And the thing that will actually get you results is telling your story and your unique lived experiences. Because when I first started, I thought nobody would care about my personal story, my journey with content creation. But the funny thing is that those are actually the moments that people seem to have resonated with the most. And the third and final lesson, which I repeat all the time on this channel because it is just so important, is to start messy. Because at the end of the day, you will never feel 100% ready, but you have to start anyway. And the thing is that your first videos should be messy. Your lighting should probably be terrible. Your editing isn't going to be great. You're probably going to be awkward when you speak to the camera, and you'll definitely cringe when you watch it back. But in my opinion, that's all part of the fun, because you will learn so much faster by just getting started and starting messy, rather than spending weeks overthinking this perfect plan that only exists in your head. Okay, so what does the future look like for this channel? Well, as soon as I've finished that program that I mentioned to you called Zero to Creator, which is literally taking up all my time right now, when that's done, I want to take these videos to a whole other level. So of course, I'll still be talking about the same things, so I'll still be helping you with building an audience and getting more views, but I want to make these videos have even more impact and maybe even more cinematic as well. I want to take my camera and go out to film in crazy locations and maybe push my creative limits and really get out of my comfort zone. So yeah, I am really excited for that new chapter, and hopefully you stick around for that as well. And if you are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, I actually made this video for you right here where I take you through how to make your first $1,000 as a new creator. So yeah, click onto that video and I'll see you there.